Hi.
Hi.
We're back again. again.
Yeah.
So if you're tuning in for the first time, we are the Boss Ravioli Queens. I'm Nicole Ravioli.
I am Boss Lady Amy.
We are a healthcare caregiving podcast. We also do trending topics every so often. Sorry for the dog.
I'm going to throw him out the window.
He's just a baby. So anyways, I guess I'll do the shameless plug, but I don't remember what all to say, so you're gonna have to correct me if I miss anything.
Just wants to be part of the fun.
Okay, you can do the shameless plug. Hi. Hello.
Okay, so hi. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Boss Ravioli Queens. This is going to be kind of an interesting transition because there was 3 of us and now there's 2 of us, but that's okay. We'll get into that in a minute.
And then there were 2.
But yeah, we are a healthcare caregiving podcast. We have a shared experience of like over, I'm near 10 years. You are 10 years doing this, so
yeah, almost 11. It'll
like
be 11 in June.
Combined like 20.
21.
That's a lot of years. Anyway.
That is a lot of years.
So yeah, we're caregivers and we do caregiving, and we also talk about trending topics and how a lot of things going on in the world relate to like our little healthcare corner of the world and caregiving corner of the world. And yeah, so if you haven't seen us before or listened to us before, go take a listen.
Sure.
Oh my goodness.
Please stop.
Go take a listen to our older episodes. Go watch our older episodes on YouTube. And yeah, funny most of the time.
And relatable.
And relatable most of the time. Informational majority of the time. Sometimes we're just plain crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, come on this journey with us.
So before we get too far into this, I'm going to preface this entire episode with I have been up for almost a full 24 hours and I'm very, very tired. So if I don't make sense, I'm sorry. It's the lack of sleep.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be a shorter episode. We're going to try and just kind of keep it cut and dry. But as you can see, and as our video that we post on Facebook said,
I posted on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, it's that also. Jasmine the Queen is no longer here, so we didn't have like a falling out or anything. We're still friends. They're still roommates.
Mm-hmm.
She just wanted to focus on other things, and we wanted to focus on the podcast. So we have split in the podcast at least. Yeah. So there's been a lot going on in the last couple months. We're really sorry that we haven't posted very much. There's been
when we tell you we've been
busy, sick,
so sick.
Yeah, I can't even think of all the things. There's been so much going on. I had, like my child was going through some stuff at school, and like there was just so much happening. But anyway, we're really gonna try and not let that stuff keep us from, oh my goodness, not let that stuff keep us from not recording anymore. And you're gonna edit this, right?
No.
Okay, well, I'll keep my comments to myself then. Yeah, so we're gonna not let that, sir. Okay, so for those of you listening and not watching, my dog is being ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically we're just gonna talk about how we're going to prioritize things no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And because we really want to try and kind of change the direction I guess we're going.
A little bit.
So one of the things that we talked about is, since this is going to be a female only podcast now, we are also going to be adding in that element of basically what it's like as a woman, and like our experiences, like as we tell stories and things like that. And obviously that's not a huge shift from what we were doing before, but I think it'll have a different meaning now that it's coming from a place of like we don't have a male perspective at all anymore.
Yes.
I did a lot of talking, so you go.
So basically, to piggyback off of what Boss Lady Amy is saying, we're headed more in like living as a woman in general, like how that relates to healthcare, talking about women's healthcare, things that are currently going on that we don't agree with, don't like, nada, like, keep it away from us. I mean, obviously, Rome was not built in a day, but they can sure destroy it in a day. So,
like January 20th.
Yeah.
January 20th is a day.
It is a day. Yeah, so we're just gonna probably talk a little more about how we're affected by things, what women's healthcare entails for us now, what it used to entail for us, because quite honestly, women's anatomy hasn't really been studied all that much. They know very little about very much of women's healthcare and our anatomy and how our bodies work, because like probably 98 to 99% of all like scientific studies have been done on male anatomy, not female. So up until recently, like tampons, dude, they had like metal in them.
Mm-hmm.
That goes in our bodies, bro. Like, you wonder where toxic shock syndrome comes from? Huh, maybe the metal that we were putting in our bodies.
You know, I will take a male doctor for a lot of things, but there's one thing that I will never take a male doctor for, and that is a gynecologist.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry, but I expect my gynecologist to be a woman who knows exactly what it's like to go through what we go through, because she shares the same parts.
And like the doctor's gaslighting us because we're women. Oh, you just need to lose weight. It doesn't matter what size you are, that's literally the answer for everything.
What's really disheartening is when you have a female gynecologist and they sound just like all the male ones out there, that is like, oh, you just need to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they perpetuate everything that's incorrect that the male doctors say.
I've been very, very fortunate, and a lot of the doctors that I've had throughout the years, or well, I shouldn't say a lot. All of the male doctors that I've had throughout the years have told me that a lot of my issues are related to weight loss and, or lack of weight loss, I guess. And I've been very fortunate in the fact that most female doctors that I have had, haven't said anything like that. A few of them have, but for the most part, almost none of them have.
Same.
But I can tell you with confidence, every single male provider I've ever seen for any issue has mentioned my weight at least once.
Mm-hmm. Like for me personally, as we all know, if you've been here before and watched or listened to the podcast, I'm very open about having polycystic ovarian syndrome, otherwise known as PCOS. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 15. They hardly knew anything about it then, other than the fact that it like messes up your body from the inside out, kind of. So there was like, they knew a little bit about like dietary needs, but not very much, and one size never fits all. So it's been a real struggle. I'm still working on trying to find the things that work for me, because again, one size definitely does not fit all when it comes to things like dieting and exercise and all of the things. And I shouldn't say dieting, it's a lifestyle change. Because you have to make that lifestyle change, you have to stick with it, and it needs to be sustainable long term. So it's not just a diet, it is a lifestyle change. But again, we know nothing about female anatomy. So I don't know if they're ever going to find a cure for it. I don't know if they're ever going to find a cure for endometriosis. The most I've heard from other people that have PCOS is that hysterectomies help. But guess what? I can't get a hysterectomy because I'm not 35. So unless I'm like having severe issues, which I mean, technically, the things that I go through now could be considered severe, but I gaslight myself. And like, I don't think that doctors are going to believe that they're as severe as I say they are. So, yeah, that's my little tidbit about it, I guess.
Yeah, just...
Sir, it's a stylus. No, you can't have it.
They're just... I don't know, there's some things that just leave me speechless, and honestly, how women are treated still to this day in 2025 is one of them.
Baffling.
It's, yeah.
Like, we literally live in... I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're using that because it's political. I'm literally not. I know what it means. Can I define it right now? No, because I do not have Google and I am very tired. But the U.S. as a whole and a good chunk of other countries in the world are very misogynistic. They are.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be campaign or inauguration times for us to say that or think that.
No.
Because myself over here, your girl thinks that 24/7. So,
I mean, we've literally been fighting for a millennia now, probably, or more, for the same rights, for equal pay, for just equality overall in every aspect. We should not be considered a lesser part of the human race because we have different parts.
just remember that literally without women, nothing or nobody would exist.
Literally.
We are needed to create more bodies, more people.
And also, let's not forget that a crap ton of female inventors, dude. Like, they're the reason we have a lot of things that we have nowadays.
Yeah, we should do an episode on that.
We, in fact, should.
Very much so. But yeah, it's really crazy to think that women are treated as lesser in society when we are the ones that create people. Without us, there would be no men.
And, like, the women, though, that perpetuate those ideals as well also baffle me. Because why are you against yourself and your mother and your sisters and your daughters? Like, why are you against all of that? Why?
That's a great question.
Like, I know that a lot of them don't realize because they're in too deep or whatever, like, that's just the way they were raised, and, you know, like, the excuses. You gotta break the cycle at some point, bro.
Right.
Me waving my stylus around. You gotta break the cycle at some point.
Oh, that's funny.
So dumb. Oh.
Well, and it seems so simple too, but it's like there's so many layers, and people like to make stuff like that so complicated.
Like an onion. Layers.
Ogres have layers.
I'm so happy you got the reference.
Obviously.
I don't know, some people are like oblivious, so. Also, I hope y'all know, but for this episode, I've had to get off this couch 3 times. I'm tall, and this is short. It's been a struggle.
Yeah. Even I struggle, and I'm shorter than she is. It's because my couch is old, and it needs to be replaced, and it's really all we have in terms of like.
Doesn't it also
nice
like not
furniture.
have risers?
Not anymore, no.
Problem number 1.
Yeah, so it's funny because like the actual couch itself, so when we bought this, so fun little fact. So me and my husband refer to furniture when it's like rated for a thick person as FGF, fat guy or fat girl friendly.
Yeah.
And when we actually did like a lot of research about this couch, and we read tons of reviews, and we like looked at all like the Q&A stuff on Amazon, and we like compared it to a whole bunch of other couches, and we figured that this one was FGF. And the couch itself really is, but the risers that it came with were like these little like rinky dinky little
Like the little circular pegs.
yeah, and so basically like we put them on, and like right away they started warping. I think like the first time we ever sat on it, and so within like a few months we just took them off because we were like, this is so uncomfortable. And we were like, why does this like FGF couch rely on these tiny little like legs to keep it afloat?
Because strength in numbers and there's 4 of them.
And yeah, and it was just really funny. And so we took those off, and then for actually a really long time the couch like got a lot better. It was a lot more comfortable, but now it's just so like worn down because we've had it for so long that it's just
Even just from like a couple years ago, like the first time I spent the night here when I was still with Sir Icky, it was comfortable then.
yeah, and it's still really comfortable. Like it's honestly a really good couch to sleep on. Like I fall asleep on this couch all the time.
I slept like a baby.
It's just it's worn down, and it's it is what it is. But this couch actually holds a special place in my heart. It is the first piece of furniture we ever bought brand new. Because anytime we've ever gotten furniture before was always from like Goodwill, because we were too poor to afford good furniture.
Felt.
So we bought this couch was $400, and at the time that was like
Pretty pricey.
that was super pricey for furniture, and like also just for us, like even being able to afford $400 like on one thing was huge for us. So like even though it really does need to go, it makes me sad.
Every time I nod my head, I can feel the bone on top of my head bounce.
But now we're at a point where we can probably afford something like double that, and I'd probably still be sad.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's a milestone couch.
It is. It really is, though. I want one of those, like, nice, like, L-shaped sectionals.
Yes.
Yes, I want one of those really bad.
And the one that has, like, the thing that starts with a C.
A chaise?
Yeah. On both sides, though.
I feel like that's a sign that you've made it if you have one on both sides. If you have just one, you're like halfway there. But if you have two, if you can afford two, you're there.
I agree.
Because those are so expensive. I also want one of those huge ottomans that are like human size that you can put your whole body on.
Mm-hmm. I love those. Only if they're well cushioned, though.
Yes. If they're like not well cushioned, then it's just.
And they have to have the little secret compartment to lift up where you can store blankets and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's also how you know you made it.
Yes, when you have a huge ottoman just for like no reason at all other than
just to have it.
Just to have it. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll get there.
We got sidetracked again.
We
just spent like 10 minutes talking about a couch.
It's a milestone couch. It's fine.
It is.
Okay, so if you are new here, We tend to get off topic a lot.
We weren't even in the same sandbox.
I was gonna say, we usually are just same playground, different slide, but today we went to a totally different park.
Yeah. We said, F this sandbox, we're going to the one over there.
That one has better sand.
It does. Those kids have peed in it.
Well, I mean, to be honest, this is kind of our comeback episode. It's not really about anything other than just us talking.
Talking about a little rebrand, a little bit of what's been going on in our personal lives.
Yeah. And as time goes on, we will kind of fine tune more like what we want to do. We haven't, honestly, we've been so busy, we haven't really got the chance to talk about it.
Correct. Like we went to dinner and we kind of decided in which direction we wanted to go, but we need to like expand on that more now.
We need to like really sit down and kind of hammer out like what we want to do, because we definitely have a couple ideas floating around that I think you're gonna see you will see them at some point.
At some point.
But it's just kind of like now we need to regroup because now we're doing this without a third person.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had kind of like had our tasks split a certain way, and now we need to figure out how to do that again.
And also get some other equipment.
Yeah, that's another thing too, which, and just like a better setup and...
Because like right now, y'all, you're recording off my phone. That's why I have my stylus. I can press a button to record, and then I press the same button, and it stops recording.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
But also, it's just a phone, and I'm not really sure how the sound quality is going to be on this. I mean, my phone picks up really well, as we all know, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, and I think at some point you're probably going to see like an improvement in equipment and just like
content overall.
Exactly. And yeah, maybe at some point we'll kind of get into that more.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say about that.
Also, for a little while, probably just going to be uploading to like Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit until we can get some stuff figured out, but we do need to get some stuff figured out.
Yep. Yeah, I would typically say, wherever you can find or listen to podcasts, you can find us. I don't know if that's going to ring true right now. We'll still be around on YouTube for sure. But yeah, we need to just kind of figure things out. And it's going to take a little bit of time. But
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. And thank you for being patient with us. And for those who have been listening from the beginning and have no plans on going anywhere, thank you.
Thank you. And we're so sorry that we've taken like a gazillion breaks. And then we just kind of pop back up like nothing happened.
Yeah, we'll probably...
Our bad?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. But,
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. I was gonna say, sorry, inside joke.
It might be one that we share with you, maybe not.
We'll just have to see where things go. I don't know what we're doing right now.
Okay.
But as usual, if you have like any questions or like statements other than you're fat, like you can put those in the comments. We do look.
FYI, we already know.
Yeah.
So like we are of the fat variety.
Yeah.
So tell us something we don't know. You're ugly also doesn't count because
doesn't apply.
It's been brought up. It's been brought to our attention.
Yeah. Do we believe it? Not for a second.
No.
But it has been brought to our attention many times.
It has been formally addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So we are aware that people do think we're ugly.
And that. Again, already know. Already know.
Dead.
You don't need to continue to address that because we're not going to.
Yeah, so like if you want to throw something new in there,
Preferably not insults.
Yeah, preferably not.
It costs $0.00 to just be nice or not say anything.
That's true. I don't know how many of you out there have been taught if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Mm-hmm. And like, if you don't vibe with us, that's fine. Different strokes for different folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it is. Just don't be a dick.
If you don't vibe, that's okay.
You can exit the tribe then.
We'll miss you. I'm so tired. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we should call it on this one before we just keep rambling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, normally this is where we would plug where you can find us, but honestly, I think we're gonna be changing our handle a little bit on like social media. So,
For the time being, until we can get things hammered out with that, you can still find us on Facebook, TikTok, both at Boss Ravioli Queens, and then you can also email us. We will be changing that too at some point, but right now
at
it is what it is. It's
bossravioliqueens@gmail.com.
that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like we had said before, I don't know if you're gonna be able to find like episodes to listen to coming up, but you are certainly welcome to go back and listen to old stuff, and you'll find it all under Boss Ravioli Queens. But I don't know. This is new and weird, but good.
Yeah.
And it's a good feeling. And I feel like we're gonna encounter some really good things.
I agree.
We've talked a lot about that and how we feel like this is gonna be really good.
We
so.
got a feeling.
Exactly. So hang in there with us. It's gonna be good for us, and we are excited to take you along.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.